longer is it? Solo build rate must fall. Remove the marked target to accept contract.
Okay. There's a lot of people running around in my way. Maybe I could, like, just fly over them? Spacebars usually jump. Uh-oh. Oh, no. Well, it's too late to go back now.
Welcome, Brigador.
I love mecha. I want there to be very clear about me. I want to make it obvious what style and genre of games I am into, so you can get an idea of where my opinions come from. So, just to let you know, if I could pilot a mech right now, I wouldn't be here talking to you. Mech games feel like they're for a niche audience. There don't seem to be too many mecha games out there. And you can further subdivide the genre, and my favorite style of mecha is the slower, heavier, dirtier ones. Luckily for me, Brigador exists, and I love it. First of all, I lied to you. Brigador isn't exclusively a mech game. You can also drive tanks and A-grabs, which are basically hovercrafts. This game has a ton of vehicles, but we'll get to that in a little bit. To understand how to play this game, there is now an in-depth tutorial. You get 4 missions with each type of those vehicles that also cover the basics of how to deal with the controls, mechanics, environments, and enemies. This game does take a little getting used to, and the campaign is the place to do that, especially considering it starts with that super helpful tutorial. Having played MechWarrior Online for so long, the controls just kind of made sense to me. But if you aren't used to turning your body separate from your guns, you're gonna need some practice. The rest of the game is very intuitive. Blow up some comm towers to stop the spread of alarms, blow up substations to turn off the powers. Also, blow up everything else. Seriously, everything in this game can and should be blown up. Well, mostly you want to make sure you blow up your objectives to complete the mission. But blowing up everything in this is just so much fun. With a few exceptions, the difficulty gives you time to get used to how tough this game can actually be. Every mission tells you what you've got to do to get through it, and provides 4 different vehicle options to play with. You can play this game in a few different ways too. It mostly falls into 2 broad styles of approach: cunning stealth, or full-on guns blazing. Both of these work very well too, as long as you know what you're doing. The special equipment in this game is the real key to attune to your playstyle. Things like active camo, smokescreen, or EMP really fit the stealth approach, as these can be used to reposition yourself, set up traps, or sneak away. The audio kinetic pulse is more fitting for blasting your way through everything, not caring who sees or hears you. You can use these tools however you see fit, but I always like putting a wall between me and a target and blowing it all up with the audio kinetic pulse. But maybe you'll like to sneak along the edges with the active camo and fire one shot into the back of a target before sneaking off to the next one. The missions let you tackle them however you want to. All the levels are well designed and interesting, so they're even fun to just poke around in. The campaign is very satisfying to complete. I haven't mentioned much about the story because if you don't care and just want to smash things up, you can just breeze right past it. I wouldn't though, as to I think it's really wonderful, but we'll get to that in a bit too. Besides the campaign, there is Freelance mode, which rules. You can pick a pilot, pick any vehicle, any weapons it can hold, and go into any level in the game. There, you can complete the missions in any way you want to, and you'll get fat cash at the end. But before we get to the cash, I want to talk about how this game feels. It feels great. If you pick a big vehicle, you feel huge and dangerous. If you pick something small, you can feel frail, but strategic and fast. I just can't get enough of the huge explosions you make. And if you pilot a mech, the stomping. Ooh. Yeah. I mentioned everything here can be destroyed, and it's always fun to smash everything in your path. Obviously, this has strategic value too, as you can walk through walls or buildings to get better positions on the enemy. I, as you probably guessed, favor the mechs in this game. They aren't drastically different from tanks though. They control similarly, but the tanks can charge through other vehicles and the environment. The bigger they are, the harder they hit. Tanks are also meant to face forward, as the rear armor is slightly weaker than any other side. The mechs are the ones that can stomp, which is just great fun. Most of them can also squat down for improved armor and flatter firing arcs. The A-Gravs are the odd duck here. They can stomp too, but they control just way different. They hover over terrain, so they never slow down. They can fly clear over low cover, and can only shoot where their nose is pointing. I've just never really enjoyed the A-Gravs quite as much as tanks or mech, and I don't know why. Because there's nothing wrong with them. They work well, and the controls are nice. I think it's just a preference. But when I want a fast vehicle that doesn't have to worry about the environment too much, I obviously still go with an A-Grav. Now, in my last video, I rattled off all the numbers of options you can get with Super Galaxy Squadron EX Turbo. Well, Brigador has even more. There are like a billion weapons and vehicles to choose from, as well as pilots, levels, lore, basic information about the world, all kinds of stuff. I won't read all the numbers out, but you can see them up on the screen right now. This is one of my favorite things about this game. All that money you earn from missions or freelance is spent here. You can choose where you spend all that money. Do you want to know about the world, or would you like to buy that vehicle first? You can buy whatever you like. This is where the story comes up. The story is covered in the mission briefings in the campaign, but if you want to know all the nitty-gritty details, you're going to be buying the files. Now, they really went all out with this game. The story, the world, the people, the weapons, everything has something to it. This is just a very well-crafted world, with a lot of interesting aspects to it. At its core, it's cyberpunk. A dystopian planet sealed off from the rest of humanity, and you're fighting to end it. For cash. And you're most likely turning control over to a corporation. So, a terrible world. But with neon lights. When I realized the depth of the lore, I went all in and read as much of it as I could. Plus, the deluxe edition of this game comes with an audiobook that further details the world, and I thoroughly enjoyed that as well. But then again, if you're just looking to blow stuff up or cruise around the game's world, you can just ignore all that and spend your cash on vehicles, weapons, and levels. It's the beauty of options. The very last thing I want to go over is the style. I love the way this game looks. The cyberpunk feel comes out all over the place. Your targeting lines are neon pink and teal, and cyberpunk is often about the shittiest places, or how society has ruined some people to push others forward. So, you can see those differences when you play a level in the slums, or are hunting military leaders in their mansions. And while I do love smashing everything, the latter feels better than the former. Because, you know, eat the rich. I just dig how everything looks, and really fits into what this world is made out to be. Then, there's the music. Guess what? It fucking rules. The soundtrack also feels appropriately cyberpunk, and it comes with the deluxe edition of the game. They keep adding more tracks to it as well. This game basically just feels like it was 100% made for me. I don't really know what else to say. Oh, but I guess I lied to you again. There's one last thing for real. The game has had quite a few major updates over the course of it being released, which is a thing I love. And I don't think they're stopping anytime soon either. They've added new vehicles, new weapons, and new levels, so I do hope they keep it coming. Oh, and we can't forget about the horns. And there you have it. That's Brigador in a nutshell. Style and soundtrack are becoming increasingly important to me as a gamer, and this game just nails those parts. Plus, I can pilot a mech in this game, and it feels good, so that's always a huge plus to me. If you like an isometric game with a cyberpunk tone, incredibly destructive action, this game is one you should check out. You know, pick it up, start smashing things. Commit a few war crimes. The creator of this video does not endorse war crimes. Okay everyone, thanks for watching this video on Brigador. I hope you liked it. Please let me know what you think in the comments or hit me up on Twitter. Also do the YouTube things like liking, subscribing, all the good stuff. Share this with his friends and let them know about a really cool game. I wanted this video to be out a bit earlier, but especially to aim for the Steam holiday sale, but holidays being what they are and me being pretty new to trying to do this stuff, it has taken a lot longer than I intended. But look forward to sometime in the future when I'll probably do another video like this. See you guys in that video.